Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for another video. My name is Brenda Kay and I am putting on lotion. And it didn't feel right, but it is. It's lotion. Okay, let's try this again. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for another video. My name is Brenda Kay and I am so glad that you are here and joining me for my year of simple abundance. 365 days of self-discovery and living a simply abundant life. And I am just putting on some lotion. My hands are really dry. I just got done doing dishes. Like my morning dishes. So my hands are really dry. Anyway, how did you guys do? Did you do your journaling last night? For day one, if you were following along with me, I did. And learned some things. And so how I did this was, if you haven't ever taken the time to try and tap into your deepest desires and deepest aspirations and things, is I sat down and I just wrote my biggest aspirations are. And I took a few moments, took some deep breaths, and just kind of centered myself. And then I started with something simple and kind of just started to, whatever came to mind on this topic, I wrote it down. And I ended up filling 3 pages in my journal. And I meant to leave room for some more things to come through, but I went ahead and started today's. So I'll probably, if something else comes up, I'll tape in a piece of paper. But I started with something simple, and just what I shared yesterday, like the one aspiration I shared with you guys yesterday, which was making a living as an artist. Like, I want to make a living as an artist. And I don't believe that to be an artist, you have to be a starving artist. Like, I believe you can make a living as an artist because I've seen people do it. I live in a state that has large art communities. I live in Arizona. If you go up to Jerome or you go up to Sedona, or there's large art communities in my area, and I know people make a living doing this. So, and they make a living where they have studios in Sedona, and I don't know what their actual financial status is, but they're doing the thing I want to do. So I know it can happen, and I know other people do it. And the internet is full of coaches and stuff that are like, I made a living with my handmade business, and I made 6 figures with my handmade business, and people do it. So I want to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't, I'm not looking for an extravagant living, but I want to be comfortable. Like, I want to travel, and I want to eat the food that actually fuels my body, and I want to, what else did I put down? Live and work where I want to. I don't want to have to be stuck. Like, I love my home. Sometime soon I'll do a home tour. I still have some areas that I am decluttering, like my office. You can't even see. This looks nice, but over there it's chaos. I love my home. It's my childhood home, and I love my area, but I don't like the heat. I don't do well in the heat, so I want to live somewhere. And that was the next thing, kind of segued into my next one, is I want to have a beautiful but modest home. I don't need a big mansion. I just want something beautiful and modest. And I went into detail. I want to live where the weather gives me plenty of opportunity for sweaters and hot tea and blankets and cozy socks, and to use my fireplace, and those things I don't get living in the desert because it's too hot. We get like 2 months out of the year, maybe, if we're lucky. We might hit a freeze like 2 weeks. That's it. And I even went into detail, like maybe a stone cottage with a summer garden and like all this stuff. And then that segued into where I want to work. So I want a studio either in my home or someplace like on my property nearby. I'd like to have property. So I just started with what I knew, like the simplest, and then that spurred on to other things, and what I want for my business and for my kids and travel. And then I even went into, I filled 3 pages, and a page and a half of that is my future partner. So I went into detail, and I was inspired by Sahara Rose. If you're not familiar, look her up on Instagram. She is an Ayurvedic guru, and she's a fabulous young woman. And she did this. She wrote down in detail what she wanted her, like what her ideal life partner would be, like who he was. And she said she even drew a picture. And yeah, and he showed up. Like she found him or he found her. They found each other. Like I think she said within a month later. I'm not putting any time frame on it, obviously. Like I am in this journey for my self-discovery, and I am not like I'm not looking for a partner, but eventually when I reach that point where where God thinks I'm ready, where it's just like I won't know. I won't know when I'm ready, but when it happens, then I trust that I will be ready. So, yeah. So, did you do your journaling? I hope you did. If you didn't, do it. It's actually very powerful and enlightening to see. And no hesitations, no judgments. Write everything down that comes to your mind that you want to do. And I'm sure I'll have more. Like I said, I'll probably add into it. So today is day 2, and the theme for today is loving the questions. I just need to take a drink of water. The quote at the beginning of today's reading is, "You only live once, but if you work it right, once is enough," by Joe E. Lewis. And I like that. It goes along with the idea that life is not a dress rehearsal. And this thing I've been talking about don't wait, but that do those things, like live that life, live the way you want to live. And even if it's not, you can't physically do that because of finances or whatever, then mentally and emotionally live that way. Like have that feeling that it's already here, that you're already, I go through the day thinking I'm already making a living as an artist. Like this is how this feels, and I hold on to the feeling of it. Couple things I highlighted. This quote by Rainer Maria Rilke. She's a German poet. It says, "Be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart and try to love the questions themselves. Do not now seek the answers which cannot be given you, because you would not be able to live them, and the point is to live everything. Live the questions now." What does that bring to mind? Like, I know for myself and just society in general, we want the answers. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like, we're asking our 6-year-olds, what do you want to be when you grow up? They're 6. They have no idea who they are. They actually probably know who they are, but, my son is 17, and it's like, okay, do you want to go to college? What do you want to study? Like, you're going to graduate, and what are you going to do? And he doesn't even know. Like, he doesn't even know himself fully yet, like, as he's, maturing into adulthood. So how, he needs these are things to think about, but at the same time, he's not going to necessarily have the answer. It may take him a little bit to figure out. Maybe he has to try a couple things, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm learning. That's okay. In myself, that's okay. But we keep, our society, we keep wanting the answers and the quick answer, and let's do it now, let's fix it now, let's get the answer now. We have instant information, and we want the answer now. And that thought of waiting for it and sitting in, living in our life and not having to answer those questions right away. I know this is something that I've been working through a lot lately, is, what am I going to do? Like, what's going to happen if, my car breaks down, or what's going to happen if, just what am I going to do? Like, I even get asked, what are you doing? Like, how's your business going? And not in a like, oh, how's your business going? It's like, how are you making a living? How are you going to make a living? How are you supporting your kids? I even got asked, are you going to join a dating site? And I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm not doing that. I'm not, that is one area I'm like, no, I don't need the answer to that. I don't need the answer to when and how and who. Like, I'm not going to go looking for it. And these things, and it's like, we need to give ourselves space to just be and live, and not that we sit back and, I'm just gonna sit here and everything's gonna be okay. We need to keep working towards things and have ideas, but if that's not working out, if your life shifts, that's okay. Go with the shift. Like, it's okay. And one of the things that she says in this is wait, live your questions, then ask. Become open to the changes that the answers will inevitably bring. This may take some time, but time is the new year's bountiful blessing. 365 bright mornings and starlit evenings, 52 promising weeks, 12 transformative months full of beautiful possibilities, and 4 splendid seasons. A simply abundant year to be savored. And I think that is just beautiful. Like, there is time. This journey, this simple abundance journey, is about time and allowing time for things to unfold and to explore, and I'm excited. So I think I'm going to think on this for the day and, maybe write down some things, some of those things that I'm still questioning, and just to get them out of my head and onto paper. Like I said yesterday, that's a very strong, like a very powerful thing to get out of your head and onto paper, and it leaves your mind open for other things, open for, greater creativity, or for the answers to actually come through, or, inspiration and things like that. So yeah, but I actually get to work in my office today, and I'm excited. I'm gonna spend a little time organizing and work on my pockets that I showed yesterday, and yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you take some time today to sit in quiet and write down those things that you're still questioning, like those questions you still have in your mind. Get them out of your head and onto the paper. It's a very powerful thing. I talked about that yesterday. Because it leaves your brain open, leaves your mind open for inspiration and ideas, and maybe for some of those answers to come through. And just be in the moment. Let's work today on just being in the moment and not worrying about the answers to the questions, at least for one day. I think we can do that for one day, right? Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely please give me a thumbs up. And if you would like to follow along in this journey with me, then, hit that subscribe button so you can see the episodes as I post them. And if you are interested in getting a hold of the Simple Abundance book to follow along or to join along with me, then I have left a link on the very first video in this series to Amazon. It's not an affiliate link or anything, it's just a plain old Amazon link. So that you can go pick up your own copy, or I'm sure if you go to your local, used bookstore or whatever, you can find this. So maybe even your library. If you at least want to get started if you can't buy it right now. So yeah, I will talk to you guys all tomorrow.